Hello. Good evening. Welcome to the Money Evening News. We're getting in there shortly.
Money Evening News. Money Evening News. Money International News. Money Evening News. Money Evening News.
In your financial indicators today, Tuesday, 8th October, In your financial indicators today, Tuesday, 8th of November 2022, the United States dollar is buying at 16 kwacha 15 ngwe and selling at 16 kwacha 46 ngwe. The Great British Pound is buying at 18 kwacha 52 ngwe and selling at 18 kwacha 89 ngwe. The Euro is buying at 16 kwacha 15 ngwe and selling at 16 kwacha 47 ngwe. The South African Rand is buying at 90 ngwe and selling at 92 ngwe. Those are your financial indicators. The news headlines. Government disburses 1 billion kwacha constituency development fund to local authorities. Basic needs and nutrition basket for October 2022 in Lusaka decreases by 312 kwacha 6 ngwe.
$537.78 for the month of October 2022. This is a reduction of about 312 kwacha from the basket recorded in September. The basket, in terms of the downward movement, is mainly attributed.
Central Bank of Egypt hikes interest rates by 2%. Heroes Stadium passes preliminary test to host under-20 and under-18 African Athletics Championships. Hello and welcome to the Money Evening News on Money FM. I am Best Jerry. The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has disclosed that it has disbursed a total of 1 billion kwacha as part of the Constituency Development Fund CDF to all the 156 constituencies countrywide, which translates to 6,433,000. Which translates to 6.4 million per constituency. Ministry's Permanent Secretary for Administration, Mambo Hamaundu, says this brings the total amount of funds disbursed under 2022 CDF to 19.8 million per constituency. Mr. Hamaundu states that from that total CDF allocation of 25.7 million allocated to each constituency in this year's national budget, approximately 5 million kwacha is yet to be disbursed. He is confident that disbursement of the fund will significantly help the local authorities to successfully implement all CDF projects approved by the ministry since the beginning of the 2022 financial year. Infrastructure and Urban Development Minister says a rehabilitation of about 32-kilometer T3 mining transportation channel Chingola Kasumba Lesa Road on the Copperbelt province will cost about 31.3 million United States dollars without taxes. Giving a ministerial statement in Parliament, Charles Milupi says the cost is inclusive of the 3 kilometers dual carriageway leading into Kasumbalesa border post. Engineer Milupi states that the cost per kilometer works out at $531,644 $0.59. He says government has agreed with the contractor to an 8-year concession period with a construction period of 1 year.
Currently leading into Kasumbalesa, the rehabilitation of approximately 32 kilometers of the Chingona-Kasumbalesa road has been agreed at $31.37 thousand and $30.96 without taxes. Madam Speaker, you will note that the cost per kilometer works out at $531,000, $644.59 per kilometer, I say, without taxes. The kilometers, for those that want to know, has been worked out as follows. A, 32 kilometers from the section to be rehabilitated. B, 6 kilometers, that's the last 3 kilometers, which is dualized from the section to be dualized in Kasumbalesa. C, 14 kilometers worked out from the widening cross-section of a typical cross-section, which is usually 6.8 meters, comprising of 3.4 meter lanes. However, the cross-section for this project is 11 meters with 3.5 meters length, 2 meters sailed shoulder. This adopted cross-section alone works out to be 21 kilometers when compared to an ordinary road. Therefore, the cost per kilometer when compared with other similar section works out to be $531,639.59.
We take a short break. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
For business on the go, visit www.moneyfmzambia.com to watch, stream, and download various programs from anywhere in the world.
Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, JCTR, has disclosed that basic needs and nutrition basket for October 2022 in Lusaka for a family of 5 decreased by 312 kwacha 6 ngwe to 8,537 kwacha 78 ngwe from 8,850 kwacha 38 ngwe recorded in September 2022. Center Social and Economic Development Program Manager Muchimba Siamachoka has attributed the downward movement in the basket to reduced prices in items such as 40 kilograms of vegetables, 16 kilograms of bananas, and 4 kilograms of rice, among others. Ms. Siamachoka says the non-food but essential items section also recorded a decrease as 290 kilogram bags of charcoal went down by 93 kwacha 33 ngwe from 833 kwacha 33 ngwe to 740 kwacha, adding that the basket also recorded notable increase in items such as 6 kilogram cassava and 3 kilograms beans. She observes that despite the increase in fuel pump prices in the month of reflection, seasonality remains a factor in influencing movement of both the food and non-food sections of the basket, and in turn the cost of living.
Center for Theological Reflection for a family of 5 stood at 8,537.78 ngwe for the month of October 2022. This is a reduction of about 312 kwacha from the basket recorded in September. The basket, in terms of the downward movement, is mainly attributed to items such as 40 kilograms of vegetables that reduced by 152 kwacha, as well as 16 kgs of bananas that reduced by 48 kwacha. On the non-food section, we did note the basket reduced in the price of charcoal, where 290 kilogram bags reduced by approximately 93 kwacha. The basket did record an increase of about 43 kwacha in the price of 6 kilograms of cassava. Despite the increase of fuel pump prices in the month of reflection, we do note that seasonality does continue to affect the basket, and this has been seen in items that have become cheaper. For instance, vegetables, as we move closer to the rain season, are more in abundance.
This is Money Evening News at 17:30. Government has urged the Department of National Parks and Wildlife to continue setting up new infrastructure in all parks around the country by working with different stakeholders. Officiating at the handover of new office space for the Department of National Parks and Wildlife in Livingstone, Brenda Tamba says that due to lack of infrastructure, officers have for a long time been renting offices, and this has been a serious drain on their financial resources, especially that their income is extremely limited. Ms. Tamba says the initiative will contribute towards the realization of human and social development, as well as the economic transformation and job creation pillars of the 8th National Development Plan, and also motivate wildlife officers currently being recruited by Ministry of Tourism. Ms. Tamba has since commended National Pension Scheme Authority, NAPSA, for their financial support towards the new offices.
These have been a serious drain on the meager financial resources that is appropriated to the Ministry of Tourism and onwards to the department. These resources, which of course going into the future we believe will be applied much more important and fundamental costs. I would like to commend the board and management of the National Pension Scheme Authority, NAPSA, and say a huge thank you to NAPSA for making it possible. I will not forget the pensioners of Zambia, making value out of our own other endowments. I would like to urge the Department of National Parks and Wildlife to continue setting up new infrastructure like this one in all parts around the country by working with different stakeholders. I can only implore you to get out there, not to be shy, talk to more. It doesn't have to be the NAPSA port that you draw from. You can reach out to many other pension houses.
And Tourism Minister Rodney Sikumba says the new office plays a pivotal role in enhancing the development of tourism, not only in Livingstone region, but also the entire nation, as it will enable officers to intensify operations in the park in order to curb poaching activities. Activities. Minister of Water Development and Sanitation says government pledges service delivery that will espouse the national values and principles in executing the ministry's mandate. Speaking during launch of the Service Delivery Charter for Accountability, Mike Mposha says the charter outlines standards of services that clients will expect in their interactions with the ministry. Mr. Mposha states that through the charter, clients will measure government's performance and hold it accountable to meeting the set out standards.
This is that our clients should expect in the interaction with the ministry. Through this charter, our clients will measure our performance and hold us accountable to meeting the set out standards. I must emphasize that in executing the ministry's mandate, we pledge service delivery that will espouse the national values and principles, gifts and benefits guidelines. Regarding the gifts and benefits guidelines, as public officials, the purpose of these guidelines is to
2 kilometers of Simbalesa Road at dinner.
Still to come is international and sports news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You are still listening to Money Evening News, and now international news. Monetary Policy Committee, MPC, of the Central Bank of Egypt has increased the key interest rates by 2% to reach 13.25%, 14.25%, 13.75%, and 13.57% for the overnight deposit rate, the overnight lending rate, the rate of the money operation, and the discount rate, respectively. The exchange reports that they also announced a series of economic measures, including a switch to a more durably flexible exchange rate. The Apex Bank says the exchange rate switch will now allow international markets to determine the value of the Egyptian pound against other foreign currencies. For more of such stories, join us for Africa Business Report at 0845 weekdays. Oil prices have slipped as recession concerns and worsening COVID-19 outbreaks in top crude importer China heightened fears of lower fuel demand. CNBC reports that Brent crude was down 93 cents or 1% to $96.99 a barrel by 11:29 GMT, while United States West Texas Intermediate WTI crude was 1.16% or 1.3% lower at $90.63. Both benchmarks hit their highest since August. On Monday, amid reports that leaders in China were weighing an exit from the country's strict COVID-19 restrictions. For more of such stories, join us for Global Business Report at 17:50 weekdays. This is the Money Evening News at 17:30.
Money Sports News.
In sports news, Zambia Athletics ZA has revealed that the National Heroes Stadium in Lusaka has passed the Confederation of African Athletics CAA preliminary test to host the 2023 Under-20 and Under-18 African Championships. ZA discloses that the test was done on Monday by Confederation of African Athletics Director General Lamin Fathi and Development and Technical Director Aziz Daouda, who also expressed happiness with Zambia's efforts in ensuring they host the championships successfully. This will be the first time Zambia will be hosting Under-18 and Under-20 African Championships, which will be Africa's second edition. Lamin Fathi says he is happy with the Zambian government's support to Zambia athletics in the organization and preparation of the championship. And Aziz Daouda was impressed with the State of Heroes Stadium, which will host the competition, but urged Zambia Athletics to work on the running track by February 2023. The final test will be done in February 2022. The championship will see 55 countries participate in at least 46 events. Liverpool owners Fenway Sports Group (FSG) are working with two United States banks to see how much the club is worth, and City insiders believe it could be as much as $5 billion. Sky Sports reports that FSG, who bought the club in a deal worth about £300 million in October 2010, are believed to be considering a sale, although they would prefer to attract new investors by selling a minority stake. They have asked Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley to gauge buyer interest, and the banks are expected to sound out whether some of the shortlisted bidders who missed out on buying Chelsea are interested in investing in Liverpool. As we end the news, we look at the headlines once again. The news headlines. Government disburses 1 billion kwacha constituency development fund to local authorities. Basic needs and nutrition basket for October 2022 in Lusaka decreases by 312 kwacha 6 ngwe. Central Bank of Egypt hikes key interest rates by 2%. Heroes Stadium passes preliminary test to host Under-20 and Under-18 African Athletics Championships. For these stories and more, be sure to visit our website on www.moneyfmzambia.com or follow us on Facebook, Money FM Zambia, on Twitter and Instagram, Money FM Zambia, on You can also download our Money FM app from App Store and Google Play Store. And for marketing, contact us on +26096786540 or 0211252237. Thank you for listening to Money Evening News. I am Best Jerry. Good evening. This is Money FM.
Money Evening News. Money Evening News. Global Business Report. Get global, go global now on Global Business on Money FM, your business radio.
Oil prices dip on China demand worries. Household grocery bills rise by almost £40 in a month in United Kingdom. iPhone maker bids on electric truck firm loads down motors. It is 17:52 Central African Time, and a warm welcome to Global Business Report, Tuesday edition with me, Best Jerry. Oil prices have slipped as recession concerns and worsening COVID-19 outbreaks in top crude importer China heightens fears of lower fuel demand. CNBC reports Brent crude was down 93 cents a barrel, but at $96.99 by 11:29 GMT, while United States West Texas Intermediate WTI crude was $1.16 or 1.3% lower to $90.63. Both benchmarks hit their highest since August on Monday amid reports that leaders in China were weighing an exit from the country's strict COVID-19 restrictions. According to CNBC, however, new coronavirus cases have surged in Guangzhou and other Chinese cities, dimming the outlook for fewer restrictions. The cost of the average annual grocery shop has risen by almost £40 in just 1 month, according to an industry report, which is warning it is too early to say when food price inflation will peak. Sky Business News reports Kantar World Panel reported a fresh record grocery inflation figure of 14.7% for the 4 weeks to 30 October, saying that shoppers now face paying an average £682 a year more for their groceries on a same selection basis compared to 12 months ago. The sum was 643 pounds the previous month, based on a grocery inflation figure of 13.9%. According to Sky News, there was also strong evidence to support a claim by Sainsbury's last week that people were eating at home more to keep costs down as they prepare to face the impact from record winter energy bills. We take a break. We'll be back shortly.
www.growthsmartschool.net. Terms and conditions apply. Growth Smart School, education for the real world. Global Business Report. Get global, go global now on Global Business on Money FM, your business radio.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Foxconn, which makes iPhones for Apple, says it is deepening its investment in a United States electric pickup truck firm, which could challenge Tesla's Cybertruck. The BBC reports the technology giant is spending up to $170 million, about 147.8 million pounds on shares in the loss-making startup Lordstown Motors. The major cash injection comes as the company aims to ramp up production of its debut model, the Endurance. According to BBC, Lordstown recently began building the vehicle at a former General Motors plant in the United States of Ohio. Shares of used car marketplace Carvana have continued to plummet on Monday, falling over 50% over the past two trading days, following a volatile downward trend that began after the company shared third quarter results on Thursday. CNN reports shares dropped 15% on Monday to close the day at $7.39 a share, continuing a downward trajectory that began on Friday when the company posted its worst ever one-day performance, dropping 39%. The plunge began following disappointing earnings due to lower than expected sales. According to CNN, Morgan Stanley analyst Adam Jonas on Friday pulled his $68 price target and said Carvana CVNA could be worth as little as $1 per share, citing the poor used car market and volatile financial systems that add material risk to the outlook. Jonas replaced his earlier target with a base range of $1 to $40 per share. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to join us on Wednesday for another Global Business Report. This has been Best Jerry. Stay tuned.
Global Business Report. Get global, go global now on Global Business on Money FM, your business radio.
I was asked to go with the flow, but I don't move with the flow because I am the flow. My name is B Flow, and whenever I'm home, I'm always tuned in to Money FM, because it gives me an opportunity to learn more about business and also how I can transform myself from being an ordinary artist to be a business artist because business is important and it's at the center of everything that we do because that's the only way I can survive as an entertainer. And so I love to listen to Money FM because different people are hosted on different shows on Money FM, and those people get to teach us more about, financial discipline, financial literacy. Very important for us to learn how to save and to know how to invest. I learned a lot from Money FM, and that's why I'm always tuned in. It's 90.